Hey everybody, it's Never, and today we're going to talk about boss fights in Wrath of the Lich King, 'cause that was my favorite time. Okay, so the first thing we had was Nax. I'm not going to talk about the dungeon bosses because they don't count. We're talking about raid bosses because they're for reals. So the first one was a new Brakan. Okay, so now a new Brakan was really ugly, and he just kind of hung out there. And so you rush in there and start fighting him and drag him around the room. It was a pretty good fight. I didn't mind it at all. And that locust swarm would mess folks up pretty bad. I enjoyed this one because I was cat DPS at the time, and I just got to tear him apart. It was great. And people died a lot, but I didn't die because I could go bear form. Okay, the next one is the Grand Widow, and her husband died, and apparently that makes her special or something. I don't know. Anyway, so this boss is a spider boss, and it's really creepy and gross. Oh, that's someone's video. And you just walk up there and you start attacking her, and you absolutely AoE the crap out of all of her ads. Makes it super easy, and you get really high DPS because Cat Swipe was just super broken at that time, so that was great. The next one is Naxxramas, which is just a really big ugly spider. And the fun thing about this one is people getting web wrapped, but I never got web wrapped. Why? Because someone else's job was to get web wrapped. And so instead I just stood there and DPS the crap out of it because I was the best DPS in my guild at the time. So then that boss got dead and everybody was happy because who wants to fight this? I mean, how do you even walk on spider webs like that? I don't know. Alright, so the next one was Noth the Plague Bringer. Now this dude was super bored. And so you just blow him up and then you kill all the skeletons and stuff that he spawns, and it's not a big deal. I mean, he's obviously wishes he could go to another Kiss concert or something like that. But anyway, he's kind of a loser, really, let's be honest. And then there's Hygen the Unclean, and the joke about him is that he has every disease ever. And, I mean, he's just a real piece of work. Look at what he's wearing, okay? Look at what that guy is wearing. You find someone who's wearing that in real life, and you'll call them unclean too, just so they stay away from you, because they're probably a creep. Anyway, he's the best fight in the entire instance because you got to do the Hygen dance, and boy, I love that thing because everyone else would die, and I could be like, "What's the matter, you guys? Why are you dead?" And that was fun. And then there's Lotheb, which was an anagram for Healbot, and this thing's just gross and got crap growing out of it. And the healers didn't like it, but I didn't care because I blow that spore up and then I just do crazy DPS, so that was fun. So then we'd move over to the military quarter. And sometimes we do this one last, and then the construct quarter. Doesn't really matter. So we've got Instructor Rezuvius, and I only knew how to say his name because one of my friends said it out loud in Vent one time. Otherwise, I'd just call him Instructor because I couldn't remember. But anyway, I mean, look at this guy. He's seen some stuff. Came from the same Kiss concert and whatnot. But I mean, again, if you saw someone in real life wearing this stuff, you'd stay away from him and probably wouldn't take his class in anything. Then you got Gothic the Harvester, which was a really cool fight. And, this guy, he's like Hygen, but a little bit better of a dresser. And he just chills up in this balcony. And I found out that you can actually, throw stuff at him. You can aggro him by throwing, I think, an empty bottle at him, which is pretty fun. And so we'd always try and find out what kind of crazy stuff we could aggro him with. And he'd get mad, and then you fight all of his friends, and then you kill him again after they're dead, and then he comes down and you kill him too. And we'd be always waiting at that gate to get at him and rip him up. It was fun. And then you got the Four Horsemen. And this was a really great fight too, because you had to do that really cool tank swap. And if you're really awesome, you do a high five as you do the tank swap too, if you had the emote bound to a key. And there's a better high five coming up, I'll tell you about that. But this was a really cool fight, and I always liked it because if you wanted to be really, really fun and you knew we were going to wipe, you just get a mark and let it stack up like crazy and then go and let that kill everyone. That was fun. Alright, and then we go over to Construct Quarter. Here's Patchwork, and everyone's like, "Oh my goodness, I'm doing so much DPS." And this is where I tell people, hey, you guys, the DPS doesn't matter that much. And, this is the fight where it really does matter. So that was fun. Patchwork, I don't know, you stand in the goo and it makes it easier. Something like that. I just one-shot him now. Alright, then Grobulus. Now I'll tell you what, back when we were progressing on this guy, and he is a real piece of work. I mean, I've never seen a more messed up thing than Grobulus. He's more messed up than that thing from Ninja Turtles that kind of looks like him. Anyway, we didn't have replenishment, if any of you remember what that is, when we were progressing on Grobulus, and so we'd have people going out of mana like crazy. But we still made it, and how does this guy even make a sandwich or anything? What a weirdo. I liked that fight too. That one was fun. And then you've got Gluth, which is hard for some people to say because they'd say Gluth or something. I guess it's probably either. And you could actually do some fun stuff with him. You could like push him through the door part way and make it so he's really easy to tank. And then kiting the zombies, that was fun too. And he never dropped anything I wanted, even though he could drop all kinds of stuff. He'd never drop anything for me. He's a jerk. And then you got Thaddeus, one of the best fights in there. I don't even remember what he looks like because I was always clawing at his feet. But then when you're tanking him, you're up on those platforms, and you when they do the tank swap and you fly past, that's when you can do like the super awesome high five. And if you can high five when you're doing that, I mean, you're my hero. And if you notice, he's actually wearing a shirt. Like, that's a shirt, okay? It looks like he's stitched, but it's a shirt right there. And a pretty powerful belt there and whatnot. Anyway, so then we go up and there's Sapphiron. And Sapphiron was just this dragon. And man, people could just not stay out of the blizzards that Sapphiron dropped. But it wasn't that hard. You just move out of it and don't get hit by Tail Swipe or by like the dragon's frontal claw ability. You just stay on the side and move to the other side if you've got yourself a blizzard on you. It isn't that hard, but man, that was tough for some people. And then we'd fight over who gets the key this time. It was good stuff. Yeah. Finally, we've got Kel'Thuzad, the man himself. What a weirdo. Look at this guy. If you saw someone in real life floating around with a chain like that or whatever, you'd probably run away. Also, he is flipping us all off, so there's that. But anyway, Kel'Thuzad was another fun fight, and there's a really cool video that I don't have out on YouTube anymore. I gotta find different music for it, but where our tank goes down, and I was able to, in Cat, because it was still combined, Cat and Bear were one spec, so I was able to go and start tanking him, and then there's a point to where he actually goes and does something else, and I was able to battle res our tank and then go back. I mean, I was just kind of a hero on that, so that's fun. And I got my horsey staff from this guy. It's the same horsey staff you still see me wearing all the time because it's the best staff in the game. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this trip down memory lane looking at the bosses of Naxxramas. And next time we're going to go and explore another raid and all the bosses and what I remember about that. Okay, thanks, bye.